What if I told you that for only $15 to $20, you could get your own HD capture card that will plug directly into your computer and use OBS so that you can record gameplay and even stream to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever you want to stream to, just for $15 to $20? Does that sound believable? Well, believe it or not, guys, these little HDMI video capture cards have been appearing across the internet and Amazon.com for the past several weeks. And when I saw these things for how cheap they were, I'm like, there's no way that that thing is any good. It's probably a lot of compression. The resolution's not that good. It's gotta be hot trash, right? It's got to be. So, curious MidnightMan decides to pick one of these up to give it a test. This one in particular is by DigitNow, and I really want to see how it compared to something like the Elgato HD60S Plus capture card, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know is $200. So to make your life easier in this video, I'm going to be doing a compare and contrast between the Elgato HD60S Plus capture card and a generic HDMI video capture card that is USB 2.0. Is the recording quality going to be the same, or is there going to be a difference? Which one is worth getting over the other? That's what I'm here to answer for you in this video. Let's get it going. To begin to compare these capture cards, we first got to look at the specification qualities of each one. Starting off with the USB HDMI video capture card, you can pass through a quality up to 4K at 30 Hz. You can record up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. When you're outputting the HDMI, let's say to OBS, there is no lag, but there is going to be a little bit of latency, which the Elgato HD60S Plus has as well. And with this cheap capture card, you can also output any device that has HDMI output. So that could be any console you have, any computer, DSLR cameras, and a TV set-top box. If 1080p 30 FPS is just not cutting it and you need something more aligned to 1080p 60 FPS, there are options on Amazon that range from $50 to $60 that do support 1080p 60 FPS. As for the computer you will need to run this capture card, you need to at least have an i5 2 GHz or above processor, which could be at a minimum a dual core. It is highly recommended you have a dedicated graphics card, something along the lines of a NVIDIA GT700 or a comparable AMD. And then you also need to have at least 4 GB of RAM. If you guys have been around my channel a while, you know how much I stress dedicated graphics and even more RAM than 4 GB. Like, if you're thinking about streaming with this card or any capture card, you're gonna need more than 4 GB of RAM. You're gonna need a good processor. With the minimum computer specs you're gonna need to run this capture card, there are a couple more things you're going to need in order to have the ideal setup that you want. One of those important pieces of equipment is an HDMI splitter. This one has worked for me well. It's by TechHole, and it can pass through up to 4K, Ultra HD. It's very good. To go along with that, you're going to need 3 HDMI cables. You probably already have one that came with your PlayStation 4 or whichever HDMI video device that you might have laying around. That's good, but you're gonna need an additional 2 to have a total of 3 HDMI cables. Now, why on earth do I need a splitter with 3 HDMI cables and the capture card here that is nice and cheap for you? Well, it's not set up like the Elgato capture card where you have an HDMI in, an HDMI out, as well as a USB connection to the computer to record your gameplay. If you're playing on, let's say, a PlayStation 4, you'll have that HDMI cable plugged into the PS4, which will go out to your input slot on the HDMI splitter. Then, if you turn that bad boy around, you have 2 HDMI out slots. One will go to your capture card right here, the USB 2.0, the cheap capture card. That's where one of the HDMI cables will go. The other HDMI cable is going to go to your TV. Are you catching my drift here? If you just use one HDMI cable from the PS4 to your computer, then you're not going to be able to see the gameplay on your TV. You want to see your gameplay on the TV as well as in OBS. That's why you need the splitter. Now, how about the specifications of the Elgato HD60S Plus? Well, you can pass through 4K at 60 FPS from a monitor to the capture card to the computer. On Windows, you can record up to 4K at 30 frames per second, and then on other operating systems like Mac OS, you can record up to 1080p at 60 frames per second. Like I said earlier, there's no lag on the HDMI output connection to OBS or to your computer. In addition to using tools like OBS and Streamlabs OBS, you can utilize Elgato's proprietary software like the 4K utility tool for Windows and the Elgato game capture software for Mac using this capture card. The minimum specs your computer needs to have is a quad-core i5 or better. You'll need a better dedicated graphics card such as a NVIDIA GTX 10 series or an AMD comparable. Elgato also recommends 4 gigabytes of RAM at least, but guys, please get more RAM, 8 gigs, 16 gigs if you can. Please. Let me clear something up for you guys. It's so important to have a dedicated graphics card because you can utilize the graphics card to do all your recording. That way, the CPU is freed up and you can do other things on the computer. And then if you have more RAM, you'll be able to open more programs and things at the same time while you're recording or streaming at the same time. That's why it is so critical to get a dedicated graphics card and to avoid integrated if you're looking to get a new computer. You'll thank me later. So now we understand the specifications between these two capture cards, like how they record, what software you can use, etc. But now how do they compare against each other? Well, both of these capture cards are plug-in. Just drop the capture card. Both of these cards have the normal UVC compatibility, which makes them so easy to use once you plug them into your computer and you load up OBS or Streamlabs OBS. All you need to do is add a video capture source and you'll be able to select the drop down of either the USB capture card or if you have the Elgato plugged in, works the same way. That goes for Windows and Mac OS. As for the setup differences, I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but with the Elgato HD60S Plus, everything is all in one. You do not need splitters or a bunch of extra HDMI cables. You're only gonna need a total of 2. One's already with your PlayStation or whichever device you have, and then the other one will come in the box with this, along with the USB connection. You'll be able to easily record without much hassle of having to get a bunch of different parts and put it together. As for the $20 capture card, you're gonna need that splitter and those additional HDMI cables, which in total can run you a little over $30. So if you add that with the $20 HDMI capture card, you're looking at $50 to have this setup working as it should. Recording audio on both of these devices is very straightforward as that audio is being passed over HDMI. The PlayStation 4 is a good example here. As long as you have your audio going through HDMI, you'll be able to hear it through the TV or within OBS. Just make sure you go into your audio source or your audio settings and select the capture card that you're trying to get audio from. If you want to be able to hear your audio, let's say with headphones while you're playing your game, you can go to your advanced audio settings and then select monitor and output for the audio source from the capture card. Now, those of you guys using the controller to plug your headphones into to listen to your gameplay audio, talk to friends, party chat, whatever, that won't work very well with the $20 USB capture card. This is the fault of PlayStation, but when you plug in your headphones here, the audio stops coming through via HDMI, and that's the only way that this capture card records audio is via HDMI. It does not have an analog chat link option for you to record your audio through your controller. So for those of you guys with full headsets and you want to talk to people and hear your gameplay through the controller, it's just not going to work, guys. I'm sorry to break it to you. I know, it sucks. PS5, let's hope that they fix this. But for me personally, using both of these capture cards, I didn't have a problem just using the monitor and output feature in OBS to listen to my game audio. And then I just had a separate USB mic to talk to my party members. Another difference the $20 USB capture card has over the Elgato is the fact that HDCP, all those copyright things, are torn down. They just don't exist anymore. I was able to set this capture card up to record my Xfinity cable TV directly from the set-top box in high quality resolution, as well as an Amazon TV Fire Stick. And on top of that, when using the PlayStation 4, I could have HDCP enabled, disabled, doesn't matter, it's gonna record. With the HD60S Plus, this capture card is completely HDCP protected, which means I had no luck recording my cable TV set-top box, my Fire TV stick, all that stuff. Doesn't work. The $20 capture card even goes one step further. It essentially is the Elgato Cam Link. You know, these things that were sold out and you couldn't find them anywhere, and they're selling for like $200+ and the retail price is $130 for it. Well, this $20 capture card does exactly the same thing. I can use my DSLR camera and this $20 capture card to record my face cam, let's say as a webcam. This doesn't need a splitter, by the way, because I'm not trying to see it on a TV screen. So if that's not the case for you, you don't need a splitter. All right, there it is. Okay, all I gotta do is remove the stuff that's on the screen, like the timer and the numbers and all that stuff. That can be removed, but that's a very high quality resolution image. But let's just not stop there with compare and contrast. The image quality is one of the top things that we're concerned about if we're gonna choose between one of these two capture cards. I use the same recording settings on both of these capture cards, so this is a fair comparison. I also didn't add any color grading, filters, any of that stuff. This is totally raw footage from each of the capture cards, so give it a look and let me know what you think. Here you go.
Let's let ourselves in.
Copy. Spark. Good effect on target, Shadows. Doors open, bring in the bird. Check, HLZ is marked, touching down. Shadows, unasked and move set.
You see hostile intent, you are clear to engage.
Final deployment is loading up. Finish the fight.
Oh, you got him? Good shit, you got him? Got you too.
I ain't get him. You had to come get your guys.
It's risky. You gotta kill these guys first. Hopefully
Midnight.
they'll just kill me. Hopefully they'll just...
He just ran past you.
Bet he did.
He ain't come to get me though.
I've got you.
If you've been looking at this footage closely, you could probably tell that the Elgato HD60S Plus does come at a bit of an advantage when it comes to the frame rate and as well as the clarity of the footage. But you could probably consider that most people that are looking just at one gameplay screen won't be able to tell that big of a difference between what they're seeing from Elgato and what they're seeing from a $20 capture card. But is that warranted to spend an extra $150? What would be the best capture card that you should pick up in your case now that you've watched this whole video? I would 100% recommend this USB HDMI capture card. I was really surprised at how well it did. It could record anything over HDMI, video and audio. Give it a go. I was honestly surprised at how well this did. It could be a DSLR camera, set-top box, Fire Stick, TV, PS4, like whatever you want. This can record it at a very nice, high-quality resolution picture. It's so cheap. 20 bucks or less for this, and the accessories you need will only total about $30. How about the HD60S Plus or capture cards like it? Is it worth to spend that money on a capture card? To be blatantly honest, I don't think it is. with these capture cards out on the market now, I really feel that these are the future of capture cards, and they're gonna keep improving these and making them better. Something like this, it's pretty overpriced, and you can't record anything you want over HDMI. Yeah, the picture is a little better, so if you do care about the optimal quality, then go with the HD60S Plus. As well as if you're on PS4 and you like using your Astro gaming headset or Turtle Beaches and you want to communicate with your team with those kind of headsets through your PlayStation controller, then you'll be utilizing the analog feature on the Elgato capture card, which will allow you to talk to your teammates as well as still have their audio and the game audio recorded at the same time. That's something that this capture card just cannot do. But those of you guys who are okay with listening to your game audio through OBS with the monitor and output feature that I showed you earlier in the video, go ahead, use that, and you'll be fine with this capture card. Just the quality resolution won't be as tip-top as the Elgato, so that's just something to consider. So that is gonna be the end of this video. I hope this was informative and helpful to you guys. If it was, don't forget to hit this video with the big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Thank you guys so much for the continued support and sharing the videos. All these things help the channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. I hope I'm giving you guys some good information and feedback to you to help out your own channels or your own setups. That's what I'm here for. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. And let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and hit me up on my socials as well. It's all linked below. I'll see you guys later. Peace.